Before we start this video, I would just like to announce that we finally have our global glyph. You can redeem this sexy glyph by going to the market, then typing redeem on the search bar, and then typing the keyword grind hard squad. Remember, this should be all in capitalized form, with no spaces, as it's case sensitive. Right now, it's only for PC, so console master race must wait for the next update, which will come really soon. Anyway, I will make a detailed video about my glyph, and as well as some channel updates really soon, so be sure to check it out. Okay, now we are done with the glyph, let's discuss the topic on hand. In today's video, I will show you how to easy endgame with Titania. I know, this frame is squishy, how can you make her endgame viable? Well actually, here's the fact, Titania is not meant to tank damage, instead, she is meant to deal damage. When modded well, this pixie can deal insane damage that you can just melt enemies in a few seconds. You probably know that Titania has been reworked, and to tell you honestly, I think that the things that have been added and changed to her are pretty good, just good, because honestly, I think that there's more to add, to make her more fun to play, starting with her survivability. Recently, Digital Extremes did add the feature that allows you to regenerate those Razorfly's health when you kill an enemy, but I really think it would be better if we restore a Razorfly once we killed an enemy. Those things flying around her are really the ones you mostly rely on in terms of surviving, and I think they should buff it a little bit. Another thing that I would like the developer to add is, instead of those Razorflies attacking, I think they should just focus on protecting Titania. Well, they don't do that much damage, and they only distract a number of enemies, so there's really no point in making them as an attack drones. Lastly, I really think that Titania's abilities are really slow despite of the rework the developers had made. In fact, I'm still equipping the natural talent mod, just to make Lantern cast a little faster. But in all honesty, I really think that alluring an enemy is not the key to making Titania survive high-level missions. I really think that a global slow, wherein enemies will be slowed for a certain duration, would make her really good. Well, this is just my 2 cents. I really think that with these additions and changes, it would make Titania a better Warframe. However, don't ever think that Titania is not fun to play against high-level enemies. In fact, she's really good in terms of dealing damage, given that you mod her right. This pixie can even do solo long survival runs, but don't expect her to be as good as other endgame frames. For solo runs, I usually run this mod setup: quick thinking, primed flow and hunter adrenaline. Helps you survive longer. It helps you withstand heavy hits coming from level 100 enemies, but beyond those levels, this mod setup will get owned, as usually, you will get one hit by enemies once the levels scale to a 150 plus. Since this is a solo build, I have enemy sense to help in enemy pathing and locating enemies. This mod is good when doing survival missions, but if you are doing other type of missions, then I suggest to just add power drift in the Exalted mod slot to gain more firepower for her exalted weapons. If you don't like this build, then there's actually another variation. The second build takes advantage of her lantern ability to crowd control enemies. To achieve that build, we remove quick thinking and replace it with natural talent for faster casting animation, and then we remove hunter adrenaline, and replace it with stretch, so that our lantern lure range will be wider. Also, you can choose to add cunning drift on the Exalted mod slot, to get more range if you please. This build is heavy reliant on your lantern ability to lure enemies, so be sure to always use her third ability. But what if you just want to deal damage? Don't worry about your survivability, and just keep pressing that fire button until the enemy melts. Well, we actually can do that, but we need to be with a team. Like I've said earlier, Titania is made to damage enemies, and not to tank. So, I think it's much fun to focus on her strengths than to dwell on her weaknesses. With that being said, instead of putting some band-aid mods on her, all you need to do is call a friend that can take care of her survivability. Yes, I'm talking about synergy in here. There are some warframes that can offer Titania survivability. One is Limbo. Exalted weapon users can shoot their weapons on Limbo's rift. Do remember that when you are in the rift, you can't take damage. The only downside of partnering with Limbo is that you can't shoot nullifier bubbles. Another warframe that synergies really well with Titania is Volt. With his electric shield, you can just camp and just be a minigun of doom. But if there's one frame that I love pairing with Titania, that is Evaru. This frame, with her cloak arrow, makes Titania a pixie assassin. We all know that stealth is pretty good when it comes to survivability, and, best part is, you can even shoot Titania with your cloak arrow, so she can move around. It's better than the synergy with Limbo, as you can shoot through nullifier bubbles. Building Evaru for this synergy is pretty simple. Just put lots of duration, then efficiency, and some range on your build, and you are good to go. With Evaru, taking care of your survivability, all you need to do is put a lot of power, strength and efficiency on your build, so you can stay on razor wing mode, and hit enemy hard with your Exalted Pistols. By the way, if you have the budget, like you have enough Forma and Endo, I suggest that you max out both Streamline and Fleeting Expertise, to get that 1.25 energy per second's efficiency on your razor wing ability. Now, having a lot of power strength is not the only key to melting enemies. You also need to mod your exalted weapons the right way. Well, I don't usually use her melee weapon, as I'm more of a gun type when using Titania. This is my current build for her melee weapon. It's just the basic mod setup, but I'm planning to test the melee variation of Titania in the future. Let's see if I can pair it with her Razor Wing Blitz Augment. But for now, let's focus on her Exalted Pistols. So, when we take a look at her Dex Pixia, we can see two strong points on this exalted weapon. It's a weapon that is heavy with slash damage, and it has a decent status chance. On top of those two strong points, is the fact that this Exalted Pistols does have insane fire rate. So, how should we build it? Simple. Equip it with both viral and slash, and then buff the status chance. There's actually two variations for this build. One is the budget-friendly setup, just add the two multi-shot mods, then some fire rate, and then coupled with two dual status mods that creates the viral element, and then put damage mods on top of it. As you can see, these level 130 corrupted enemies, with lots of armor, are no match for this combination. They just melt easily. However, this is not the final form of a viral slash Dex Pixia. If you can put the two primed critical mods on your build, and then add either anemic agility or gunslinger on your mod setup, then enemies will melt faster. Now, do take note that viral and slash combination does work well in almost every faction, but there's certain missions that you need to mod your Dex Pixia with other combination, to kill the enemies much faster. Say for example, the Hemocyte fight in Operation Plague Star. Hemocytes are susceptible to corrosive damage, so it's best that you mod your Dex Pixia with corrosive plus lots of damage and fire rate. So that's it. I hope that you find this video informative. Like always, please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it, and subscribe for more informative Warframe stuff like this. Also, if you haven't joined our 1000 Platinum giveaway, then you can do so by simply going to our Discord server. Lastly, you can follow me on Twitter if you want. Links are on the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.